Hello everyone, Effie here to bring you a cast of the Stadium Giant Cup 1 playoffs. This is the first edition of this individual tech tournament that's being played in Trackmania 2 Stadium. However, the tournament was also organized in nations in total of 7 times, so in reality you could say this is the 8th edition of the cup. Anyway, it started off with 2 time attack qualifiers where top 16 qualified from both, making it 32 players that went through to these playoffs. The format for the playoffs will be a double elimination system played in rounds mode on 3 maps with 6 rounds on each. Today all winner bracket matches will be played, and then tomorrow, starting at 12 PM CEST again, all the loser bracket matches and the grand final will be played. And the first match that I will cast today will be Royal versus Bergie versus Beef. Sadly, Scary is missing the 4th player, and we are going to do one more warm-up here before we start. So we are going to start on the map Ego Trip, made by John. I have not seen these maps, unfortunately, so I am a bit unprepared when it comes to that. I can say though that, well, they are obviously played in built in tech, and the length is a bit longer than the normal length, I would say, for example, for something like the IML Cup, which is played these days as well. So the maps are about 50 seconds long, in contrast to like 40 or 30 seconds long, and also might be a bit more difficult in general. Of course, the length makes it more difficult automatically, but I think also the style might be a bit harder in general. So yeah, this is the last warm-up, and then we will start. Top 2 will qualify from each group, and simultaneously there is another group being played right now. But I think there's only 2 players in that one. But yeah, we are going like now. Good luck and fun to the 3 players. Sadly, again, Scary is missing, and yeah, again, top 2 will qualify. So we are playing in cup mode actually, but 6 rounds on each map, and then whoever got the most points wins. So it's pretty basic, pretty classic rules for this kind of tournament. But anyways, we are live into the first round, following Beef, who drives for Ice on Dew. Would say he's he's the underdog in this match. Both Bergie and Royal, of course, well-known players, Dingtas and Acer, and we see Beef here with a minor mistake. Royal and Bergie can take the lead. Bergie in the lead, but then gets a slide there from the grass, I believe, and then also I think he might have touched the wall. So Royal will pass him 2900s ahead, halfway through the map. A lot of grass on this map, I just noticed. And Beef is getting closer to Bergie here. Bergie can't feel safe, so he does have a pretty solid lead, but he makes a mistake. Beef will pass him. Second mistake there, or third for Bergie. Royal though looking good in the top. Should be pretty close here to the finish line. Or 1 second ahead of Beef. Here comes Royal. 53.17 is his time. Beef able to pass Bergie there in the end, although only with 1000s in the end, so I guess he might have made a mistake of his own. Bergie came back there, but not enough to take second place. So that's the first round. Again, 6 rounds on each map will be played, and Royal takes the lead. 10 points is what you get for first place. Second place gets 6, and third gets 4, and then of course 4th place would get 3, but 4th player is missing. Royal with a poor start this time. Bergie once again goes up in the lead, and we see a interesting line there from Beef. He actually goes on the top of the quarter pipe. Not sure if that's faster. Again, I'm not familiar of the map. So Bergie now in the lead, Beef at second, Royal at third. Pretty spaced out between the players. Bergie 3200s ahead of Beef. Royal getting a bit closer to Beef, but then hit the wall there in an attempt to catch up. Of course, wanted to drive a bit more risky. That's what you need to do. But Bergie now looking good to win this round. Last turn here, no further mistakes, and Bergie wins with a time of 52.90, and I think that is a pretty decent time. The world record on this map, I forgot to mention, is 52.51 by Chronos. So Bergie there less than half a second away from the world record in that round, so pretty solid time. So Bergie and Royal now both with 14 points each, Beef with 12, so still very close. It's very early on, of course. Oh, that Beef not with the best line, didn't hit that apex very well, and does not have a lot of speed. Seems like you have to build up a lot of speed in the start there. So Beef 5600s behind Bergie right now, who is in the lead. Royal though close by. Let's follow Royal in camera 3 as they go over the grass. Bergie still with a lead, 2300s ahead. Here's where Royal crashed last round, no mistake. In this round, it's getting a bit closer I think here to Bergie. 1600s, 1000s behind now. Bergie though keeps his first place. You see Royal going inside of the pole there. Interesting. Bergie goes outside, gets more speed though. Bergie still in front, and Bergie will win this round. 53.14. He is 700s or 800s I should say ahead of Royal, and then Beef 4 seconds behind. So Bergie now alone in the top, 24 points. Royal with 20 and Beef with 16. And again, top 2 will qualify to the next round. Although whoever loses will drop down to the loser bracket, so that player is not out. So yeah. Anyways, we are live into the next round, and Bergie once again with the best start. Beef goes over that quarter pipe. Seems like he actually extended his lead over Royal. It's about 2000s ahead. Oh, huge mistake there from Beef. Went way too wide. Was lucky to be able to continue here. Not sure if respawn is allowed. Oh, Bergie has made a mistake as well. Royal will pass him. Missed what happened to Bergie. So was spectating Beef. So looks like Royal will take this round and tie up the score once again. Yes, Royal wins it. 53.59. Bergie 53.87, and Beef another bad round, 59.08. So Bergie and Royal all tied up again at 30 points each, Beef with 20. Because Bergie and Royal have been winning one of each rounds here, Beef is not too far behind. Of course, only 3 players makes it, so it's still very close. Would have been different if it was 4. So Beef only 10 points away. Bergie here drops down in the start. 5200s behind Beef, who is now leading. As you do see here, Royal and Bergie both dropping down, and what happened to Royal? Royal gets stuck in the checkpoint. That's interesting. What? Bergie with another mistake here as well. This is not a good round for Royal or Bergie. So this gives Beef an opportunity to catch up a bit. He will not. He will still be at 3rd place even if he wins this round, I think. But yeah. Beef will get a bit closer. Jumped into the wall there, but didn't fly out of the track, and will win this round. 54.81, modest time, but since Royal and Bergie are so far behind here, didn't really matter. Both players over 1 minute. It's not the best round there from Bergie or Royal. Bergie remains in the lead, 36 points, Royal with 34, Beef with 30. So yeah, definitely cannot count out Beef, even though he's had a pretty bad start to this first map, but he could be better on the other 2. And of course, if Bergie and Royal continues to crash a lot, which seems to be the case, then Beef can do some damage here, and he actually takes the lead in the start. Yeah, Beef is looking pretty good all of a sudden. And he's the only player who goes over that quarter pipe. That is very interesting to me. Let's see here if he will be able to keep his first place. Both Bergie and Royal will try to catch up to him. Bergie the closest right now, only 500s behind. But Royal is also up there. So much better round now compared to the previous one. Bergie will actually take over the lead for a moment there, but Beef is back at 1st place. Royal with a lot of speed here goes for that inside line. Also Beef. Bergie goes for the outside. We'll have more speed here before the long stretch. In the end, Bergie comes back with a lot of speed and will take 1st place. 53.06, Royal 0.13, and Beef 0.30. So that was a good choice for Bergie to take that outside line. Had more speed in the end, and that's the end of the first map. So Bergie in the lead with 46, Royal with 40, and Beef with 34. Still a pretty close match. Alright, so I believe we will have 2 more warm-ups. That seems to be the standard here, yes. So 2 more warm-ups before we continue the match. And the map now will be Feral Head by Surd. and the world record is not 50.09 by Omnipots. I have been informed that that's actually a shortcut, a time made with a shortcut. So the actual world record is 50.33 by Scrappy. So that is the actual world record. I would say good times here to set in matches would be 50 seconds mid or high. Sounds reasonable to me. So yeah, we are first doing the first warm-up here, and then one more will follow. So again, I haven't seen these maps, don't know too much about them, but once the tournament continues here, I will learn it by watching it, I guess. So Royal with some RPG skills, driving on its back, will be able to reach the next checkpoint, but does not decide to respawn. We'll just try to go as far as he can, driving on the back. That is very interesting to watch. Okay, the timer ran out. Almost made it to the next checkpoint. Of course, it's still pretty early, at least in Europe, so I mean, I'm sure, like, as most gamers, we are not used to playing this early, so that could also affect certain players, especially in these first matches, so maybe why we have seen some quite a lot of mistakes so far. Another reason could also be that the maps are, I would say, well, seems to be at least a bit harder than what's usually played on, especially in recent team tournaments. But ET, the organizers of this event, electronic tournaments, they are kind of notorious for using more difficult maps. One of the first event organizers in this game, and yeah, pretty classic format and maps. Also have a special style to them, and speaking of ET, they are actually coming back with both Stadium Team Championship and Nations Cup in October, so it's gonna be fun. But yeah, that's the end of the second warm-up, so we are continuing the match now. Bergie currently in the lead with 46 points, Royal with 40, Beef with 34, and to just reiterate the format, we are playing on 3 maps, 6 rounds on each, and yeah, it just ends once we played all the rounds. And whoever got the most points will qualify. Top 2 will go through, and we see a bump there from the border to Royal in the start. Bergie and Beef takes the lead, or take the lead, I should say. So Royal 4,300 is behind Bergie with a small lead over Beef right now. Not so small anymore. Builds up a lot of speed here and extends his lead. 2,000 ahead. Beef goes awfully close to the wall. Bergie will hit the wall. Comes to a complete stop here. Royal will not pass him because he's respawned. Alright. So we are continuing to see quite a bit of mistakes here in the second map as well. Beef will get an easy 10-pointer if he can finish the map, and he will do so. 51.43. And Bergie will also be able to finish. Will Royal be able to finish though? Yeah, he's asking if respawn is allowed, and I don't know if it is allowed actually. Yes, says Bergie, who is an admin of this tournament, so Royal will not be able to finish. Dang. Well, that's a bit too late there. But I guess he wanted to be sure that he could actually finish that round. So yeah, Royal with no points because of that, and he's down to 3rd place. Beef is passing with 44, Bergie at 52. Would be quite an upset here if Royal is out already of the tournament. And Beef takes the lead here in the second run as well. Beef looks to be a bit better on this second map. Maybe Royal and Bergie are underestimating him. Oh, that's a risky line from Bergie. Drives on the side of the platform there. His wheels outside of the track, but does not get a slowdown from it. And he goes up in the lead to the pace-off. See if he can pass this turn now. Yes, better start from Bergie, and builds up a lot of speed. 1,700 ahead of Beef. Royal at 3rd place. Doesn't look like he likes this map very well. Oh, Beef with a no drift. Royal will pass him, but he will not pass Bergie, who takes first. 50.92, so a time under 51 I believe is pretty solid. Royal 51.09 and Beef 51.75. So we do see Bergie now extending his lead a bit. 62 points, Beef with 48 and Royal with 46. So if Bergie continues to win these rounds, then I think he could already qualify with one more map left to be played, but we'll see. Still got a couple of rounds left to play here, and Beef hits the wall and falls down a lot. See in the next checkpoint, he is 2.5 seconds behind. And Bergie in the lead over Royal with 20 hundreds. It's gonna be tough here for Royal to catch up, especially when he clips the wall. So it looks like Bergie will win another round and go up to 72 points. Here's the ending, not really that difficult by the looks of it. Bergie 52.82, an even better time. Royal takes second, and Beef, 8 seconds left on the clock, will be able to get 4 points. So Beef and Royal now tied with equal amount of points, 52. Bergie 20 points ahead at 72. Just want to look at the Dedirex here to see the best times of the players. So Bergie got 50.52, Royal 50.64, and Beef 0.81. So I mean, all three players got decent times, I would say. But only Bergie really have been close to his personal best so far. Neither Beef or Royal has been under 51 seconds. And Royal with another bad start. Oh! Okay, there we go. So Bergie was punished that time by driving, having his wheels outside of the platform. I think that's what happened there. So he took a risk and didn't pay off this time. He was in the lead though, so a bit unnecessary there. But anyways, Royal right now in the lead, gets a small bump, but managed to keep his lead. Beef still behind with 1300, entering the last turn. Beef will try to attack, but it's not enough. Royal takes 10 points with a time of 51.18. Beef 0.38, and Bergie will only get 4 points in this round, so the others will catch up to him a bit. He does remain in the lead with 76 points, Royal with 62, Beef with 58. Not sure how many rounds we have left of this map, maybe 2, something like that. Again, 6 rounds are played on 3 maps. We have played 1 map, this is the second. Feral Head by Surd, World Record 50.33 by Scrappy. And we are live into the next round. Ooh, Bergie almost clipped the pole. And now Beef will have his wheels outside of the platform there, so he drops in speed. And let's follow the top here, the fight between Bergie and Royal. Bergie takes the lead. Seems to figured out this map a bit better than Royal. 1400s ahead. Continues to extend his lead, 1600s in the next checkpoint. Royal will have to risk the ending, but the ending is not very difficult, so it's gonna be tricky here for Royal. He catches up a bit, but it's not enough. Bergie takes first, 50.81, Royal 51 seconds, and Beef 51.32. So decent round there, no major mistakes from any of the 3 players. So Bergie now up to 86 points, Royal with 68, and Beef with 62. So Bergie looking pretty good now. I think this might be the last round. Might be one more perhaps. And then we have just the last map left to go. Of course, if Bergie is really bad on that last map, he could maybe still be passed by both Royal and Beef, but we'll see. Looks like Beef is again at 3rd place in the start. 1900s behind Bergie, who is in the lead, and Beef will clip the wall there. So let's follow. Oh, Bergie all of a sudden drops down heavily in speed, and Royal will be able to go up to 1st place. 30 ahead, 49 in the next checkpoint. So we see another mistake from Bergie in that section of the map. That was an awkward drift there from Royal, but he managed to save it and will take 1st place. 51.09 ahead of Bergie and Beef. So yeah, that was the last round. And the result after 2 maps played out of 3 is that Bergie is in the lead with 92, Royal with 78, and Beef with 66. So only got 6 more rounds left to be played of this first winner bracket match. Again, today, Saturday, we will play all the winner bracket matches. And then tomorrow on Sunday we will have the loser bracket matches and the grand final in play. Yeah, so I guess the players might be a bit sleepy. And we will have 2 warm-ups as usual. The third map is Goodbye, made by Lund. The world record here is by Kronos, 45.86. And let's see what the players have here, what their times are. Bergie seems to have the best time once again, 45.95. Then we have Beef at 13th place, 46.06, and Royal at 19th, 46.19. So based on that, Royal does not seem to be that good on the map, but it's hard to say though, you can't really base it on the times, but it will tell you something at least. So I mean, Royal might not feel as comfortable driving fast on this map as Beef and Bergie, and yeah, I mean Royal could lose his second place here. Again, top 2 qualifies to the next round. So if Beef does well here, wins a couple of rounds, then Royal could actually not get through to the next round and will drop down to the loser bracket, and that would be quite an upset for a lot of people, I believe. So we'll see what happens. One more warm-up remains, and then we will continue the match. And yeah, there's not going to be that many breaks, or that long breaks between matches, I think. So the next match after this should start pretty soon. So you know, based on the players are present, of course. So not sure which match that will be, but as soon as I know, I'll just post which players will drive in the chat. Alright, that's the end of the second warm-up. And Royal asks Beef here if it is his best map, and he says, I hope so. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I think Bergie pretty much is qualified already with 92 points. And he got the best time on this map as well, so I don't see him losing or not qualifying. Even if he gets third in each round, I think he might be still through. But anyways, we are live into the first round of the third and final map in the first round of the playoffs of Stadium Giant Cup 1. No mistakes here from any of the players in the start. Bergie with a small comeback, goes up to second. Royal at first place right now. Royal, of course, wants to win. Wants to get that second place, and Beef with a mistake. That's exactly what Royal wants. See if he can take first though. Bergie with a lot of speed here in the end. On Royal's heels right now. Will Royal be able to stay in front? Yes, that's a good turn from Royal. 800 ahead of Bergie should be enough, I think. The ending isn't too difficult. Royal will win this round, 46.34, Bergie 0.54, and Beef only with 4 points in this round, and that's not what he wanted. So Royal up to 88 points now. Beef at 70, Bergie at 98. So yeah, I think it might be too hard now for Beef to actually pass Royal. Maybe if Royal doesn't finish a round as he did in the second map. We'll see. We are live into the second round here once again. All 3 players with decent starts. Beef, good speed here, goes up to first place. Royal drops down to third, but has a lot of speed. More speed than the other 2 players, and goes for a wide line, gets more speed again, and goes up to first place. Nice stop here from Royal. But it's a very close round so far. All 3 players are in it. Bergie also with a lot of speed, and Beef crashes. Beef with another mistake, and Royal will take first, and I think that's gonna be it. I don't see Beef coming back from this. 46.30 by Royal, 139 by Bergie, and Beef 2 seconds behind. Had to risk it, but did not pay off, and now we see here Royal over 20 points ahead of Beef. Bergie at 104. Royal might actually be able to pass Bergie and take first. Not that it matters, I think. I mean, I'm not sure how the seedings will actually be, if it's gonna be like based on who takes first or second, or if just top 2 goes through to the next group together, or you know, there's different ways of doing it, so we'll see. Could play a factor. Good turn here from Bergie. Goes up in lead. Bergie, or I mean Beef at second, ahead of Royal, who does not get as much speed this time. Beef needs to pass Bergie. Royal with another mistake here, but Beef is not getting closer and gets another no drift. Royal will pass him. And yeah, that's the final nail in the coffin for Beef. Bergie with 114, Royal with 104, Beef with 78. So unfortunately, Beef will not go through to the next round in the winner bracket, but this tournament does have a loser bracket, so Beef is not out of it. He will continue playing tomorrow again. So yeah, I think we have like 3 more rounds perhaps, or maybe 2. I should probably keep track of that. Bergie crashes here, doesn't matter. It's just transportation now to the end. Beef might be able to make the numbers look a bit better, but Royal with that speed takes over the lead. And see if he can get a good drift here as well. Should have more speed. Yes, Royal takes first. 46.29, Beef 0.37, Bergie 0.95. Bergie now at 118, Royal at 114, and Beef at 84. And I think this is the second to last round. Watch Bergie play in camera 3. None of these players play in camera 3, I think. Royal is camera 1, I think. Now I was a bit insecure, but I think Bergie definitely is camera 2 though. Beef, actually, I don't know. I don't think he's camera 3. Camera 3 is pretty rare, I should mention. Only a handful of players actually drive with this camera. It's definitely the hardest one to get good at. So Beef entering that turn a bit too wide and go to the wall. Bergie with a decent time, 46.16, 12.27, and Beef drives backwards into the finish and is now at 88 points. Royal at 120, Bergie at 128. Okay, he plays camera 2 according to Sir's teammate. So yeah, I think Bergie and Beef are camera 2, and then Royal, I think, is camera 1. I don't know, not sure. I know that he plays with keyboard though, and Bergie plays with gamepad. Not sure what Beef plays with. Could be either. Gamepad though is a bit more common these days, but the keyboard definitely a good option as well. Alright, so I think this is the last round. Bergie is leading ahead of Royal, Beef at third. So Bergie will win this group. 138 points, Royal 126, and Beef will have 92. And that is the end of the match. So Bergie and Royal advance to the next group.